Animal Crossing is known for having some really awesome references to other video games within its own game universe, but on the flip side, there's been a lot of video games over the 2 decades of Animal Crossing existing that have made references or homages or even cameo appearances to Animal Crossing in one way or another. So let's take a closer look at these. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, released in 2001, there are 3 collectible trophies, Mr. Rossetti, Tom Nook, and KK Slider, featured in the game, which is really cool because this is just briefly after Animal Crossing released on the Nintendo 64, and it hadn't yet seen its more popular re-releases on the GameCube, which would be the international success that Animal Crossing would become. Back then, Animal Crossing was still a really niche title, and its inclusion in Super Smash Bros., even if it was just a trophy, was actually really impressive. In Kirby Planet Robobot, there's a chance that Kirby with a stone ability will sometimes transform into Tom Nook as a golden statue. In the pretty useless game Wii Music, the Animal Crossing theme along with a KK Slider song, KK Blues, both appear as songs in the game. In Wii Fit Plus, there's a game called Segway Circuit where a player has to try to stomp on these moles from taking beach balls, and they definitely resemble Mr. Rossetti from the Animal Crossing series. By the time Super Smash Bros. Brawl rolled around, Animal Crossing definitely was a hit, and Nintendo did put more effort into trying to make Animal Crossing's presence more prevalent in the game. Now, of course, at this point, there still wasn't an Animal Crossing character featured as a playable character, but Animal Crossing's presence was still there. Super Smash Bros. Brawl had Animal Crossing music, stickers, the stage Smashville was introduced to Smash Bros., which was based off of the Animal Crossing village. There were balloons and pitfall seeds, but most notably, there was the Mr. Rossetti Assist Trophy, which when thrown, Mr. Rossetti would come and block the entire screen and then talk and dialogue for a while, making it really hard to see what's going on behind the dialogue. Kind of just as annoying as when you would forget to save in the original Animal Crossing games. In the game WarioWare Smooth Moves, there is an Animal Crossing Wild World themed minigame which involves fishing. Essentially, players have to pull the Wiimote up at the right time to potentially catch a fish. In the game Tomodachi Life, there's these clay figurines that have the description that the clay figure looks sort of familiar. Did you find it in the ground? As a reference to the gyroids from the Animal Crossing series. Now, gyroids are inspired by Japanese clay figures known as Haniwa, and according to AnimalCrossing.fandom, a great site for Animal Crossing information, they were used for rituals and buried with the deceased between the 3rd and 6th century AD. Also, while looking at Tomodachi Life, it appears that during the summertime in the island menu, you can hear the sounds of cicadas, which allegedly just uses the same exact audio sound from Animal Crossing New Leaf. In the game Kirby Superstar Ultra, there is a mini game called The Great Cave Offensive, and essentially you have to escape with as many items as you can, and a lot of these items are obviously references to other Nintendo titles. But what's really cool is you can see the golden watering can as one of those items that you want to escape with, an obvious reference to Animal Crossing here. Over in Miitopia, there's actually costumes of Tom Nook, Isabelle, KK Slider, and Mr. Rossetti, which can all be unlocked by doing the whole amiibo thing where you have to buy the amiibo and then scan it, and then all of a sudden you get a cool little in-game costume. But hey, that's something cool for those hardcore, die-hard Miitopia fans that are out there. Okay, this one's really interesting, but in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, there's this like idle animation that Donkey Kong will do if you're like not playing, and he'll pull out a blue 3DS XL and he starts playing some game. But one of the games that he can end up playing, it switches every time, is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Like you can hear the sounds of him coming out of a house and using a shovel and stuff. It's pretty funny. They ended up taking this out of the Nintendo Switch re-release of the game though, which is kind of disappointing because it's a really cool nod to Animal Crossing. Have you ever heard of Nintendo Switch's world famous game called Jump Rope Challenge? No? Well, they have an Isabelle costume in it. It looks like this. Okay, back in the original Nintendo DS games, in Animal Crossing Wild World, you could actually shoot down Pete, the male pelican, I guess, with a slingshot, and he like crash lands. It's this whole thing. I don't know, who would have thought you could catch assault charges in an Animal Crossing game? But later on in the DS game, The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, the postman, he's like this Rito looking thing, asks Link not to shoot him down with the slingshot, which is likely a reference to what you could do in one of Nintendo's other biggest popular DS games. In the game Monster Hunter Diary, they did this crossover thing with Animal Crossing where they're like, hey, we'll put a character into Animal Crossing, which they did with Happy Home Designer for the 3DS and also New Leaf's Welcome Amiibo update where they brought in the character Feline. And in turn, they're like, we'll put Tom Nook in, and he won't look completely cursed in any way whatsoever. And they did, and this is what he looked like, and it's not the best. But hey, it's a cool nod to Animal Crossing. We talked about this one a little bit in the past, but in Nintendo Land, the big Wii U launch title that was supposed to tell people why they should buy a Wii U, because honestly nobody understood what a Wii U actually was or what it did. There was a mini game called Animal Crossing Sweet Day, which is based on the Animal Crossing universe, even though it doesn't really look like Animal Crossing and the characters look terrifying. It was cool to see some more Animal Crossing inclusion in a video game, to say the least, especially since the Wii U never actually got a mainline Animal Crossing game. In Paper Mario, the Origami King, there's a character named Bobby, and he has amnesia, and he says a line that is a reference to a line that Gulliver could say in Animal Crossing New Leaf, where he's like, I must have ambrosia or amnesty or something equally serious, and in this line he says something like that too. Do you guys remember back in the old 3DS days where they had the whole street pass thing? Essentially you could be walking down the street and you pass someone else who has a 3DS with them, and then the 3DSs will exchange information or something, and you can unlock stuff. Well, Street Pass Me Plaza had some Animal Crossing stuff in there. For instance, there were 2 puzzles themed on Animal Crossing New Leaf and Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, and there was also some Me outfits that you could get based on various Animal Crossing characters. This next one is the one that I think is the most hilarious out of all of this, but in Super Mario Maker, you could use amiibo figurines to get more things in the game for costumes and whatnot, and because of this, there are a ton of Animal Crossing sprites which you can use as costumes in Super Mario Maker, and I just love looking at what the gameplay of this looks like with these Animal Crossing characters. Also, Tetris 99 did this little Animal Crossing event about 2 months after Animal Crossing New Horizons came out on the Switch, which essentially was this unlockable Animal Crossing theme that you could get, and you'd also be able to get some Animal Crossing themed music. But it was only available for like 3 days, so you had to have played during those 3 days to get the unlocks, but it was still really cool to see a nod to Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing was like taking the world by storm in 2020. It was a really exciting time. If we go all the way back in older video game history, we can look to the GameCube, which had a tech demo shown at E3 2003, and it was called Stage Debut, and it was this weird looking classroom that had various characters in it. Now, one of them was a villager who was forced into this terrifying purgatory alongside these dudes. Yeah. Nintendo has an interesting history. Okay, Super Smash Bros. Again would come around on the Wii U in the form of Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. They also did the 3DS one, and this time Animal Crossing was finally fully represented by introducing the first ever Animal Crossing character, the villager, which was actually a really cool character to have. The original trailer revealing that this character was joining Smash Bros. Was really hype, and they even did this like little CGI trailer. You could see other villagers in Animal Crossing's world kind of looking like what is going on, and the villager became this massive meme of this menacing character who may be the best fighter of them all. It was pretty cool. They ended up going with the Gen 2 design for the Animal Crossing character, and while Smashville would return in the Wii U version, on the 3DS we got Tortimer's Island, which was pretty cool. We also got a new Animal Crossing themed stage known as Town and City. They also introduced an assist trophy for Isabelle, which was cool. They also really upped the amount of representation of Animal Crossing characters in the form of trophies, which were cool, and there was even more Animal Crossing themed songs added in here as well. But Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch would take things a step further when they introduced Isabelle as a playable character, and that trailer was also hyped. We had this CGI trailer kind of based off of New Leaf, but it also was used to announce Animal Crossing New Horizons, despite the fact that none of this that's shown here was ever in any video game. It was just a trailer made directly to announce all of this. Obviously, Isabelle being the new character was no longer an assist trophy, so instead a new assist trophy was added in the form of Cap'n, and ever since then it's been pretty hyped to see these characters representing a game like Animal Crossing in a game like Super Smash Bros. But with Animal Crossing rising in popularity through the mid-2000s into the 2010s and whatnot, Animal Crossing would soon become kind of one of the front-facing Nintendo franchises beyond the classic ones like Mario or Legend of Zelda or like Kirby. And soon there were other games that also would be taking from the Animal Crossing franchise and bringing a mascot in to help promote the game, but also make other games a little bit interesting, like Mario Kart 8, when they introduced characters from Animal Crossing and a track completely based off of Animal Crossing into the game. Now, Mario Kart 8 originally came out on the Wii U, and this was DLC released for the Wii U, though it all was included when the game would later be brought to Nintendo Switch in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So it's always cool that these characters have been kind of a staple of the Mario Kart games now for like 8 years, and it doesn't look like we're getting a new Mario Kart game anytime soon, so maybe these Animal Crossing characters will stick around a bit longer. Either way, the map that was brought into Mario Kart 8 based on the Animal Crossing world was really cool. It just had a lot of set locations from the games. There was 4 different seasonal versions of the track, just like how the Animal Crossing seasons will change, which was neat as well. And you can see various towns, villagers, just kind of out there watching the race go down. Now, let's not talk about the scaling of things, because obviously either we're really tiny here or these villagers are massive, which kind of is a terrifying thought if you try to apply that to the real Animal Crossing world. But yeah, it made sense why they scaled them up so that you can get the most visibility and appreciate the art direction being represented in a game like Mario Kart. Okay, let's go back and look at some older ones. WarioWare Twisted was a game on the Game Boy Advance, one of the first WarioWare games. It was actually the third, but in this WarioWare Twisted game, if you play the campaign under Dribble and Spits, there is a micro game called Gyroid Jumble, which has the gyroids from Animal Crossing. I know this one's not as cool as like the whole Mario Kart dedicated track, but hey, for 2005, this was cool. In Yoshi's Woolly World, if you scanned a villager amiibo, you could get a villager themed design for Yoshi, and in the 3DS version, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, you can actually get a total of 16 different designs based on Animal Crossing characters, depending on who you scan in with the Animal Crossing amiibo. I'll be honest, it's cool that they did this type of connection with your amiibo, but it doesn't really look like the characters. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, this is KK, and this is Digby, and this is Isabelle, but at the same time, you know, it's minuscule at best. In WarioWare Gold, you can scan your amiibo figurines into the game, and in the Sketch Arcade, Wario will draw the corresponding character, and they all look really cursed. Like, I mean, this is technically official Nintendo-made illustrations of Animal Crossing characters, and it is the most terrifying thing that I have possibly ever seen. I mean, look at Isabelle. Look at KK. What did they do to him? Mabel actually might look like my sleep paralysis demon, and I just don't know how I feel about that. Also, WarioWare Get It Together, which was the most recent Nintendo Switch WarioWare game, had a micro game named Animal Crossing New Leaf, and you get to pop balloons. Yeah. Marshall's sometimes in it though. In the game Style Savvy Trendsetters, there are 2 downloadable brands. One is called Club LOL, which is based on the club featured in Animal Crossing New Leaf, and the other one is called Gracie Grace, based off of the character, well, Gracie. Gracie's brand name is called Giraffissima? Giraffissima. Yeah. I don't know. Apparently you can unlock some like sunglasses or something. If you've played this game or any of the Style Savvy games and you can explain how this works, please do let me know in the comments down below, because apparently when Happy Home Designer came out a couple years later, Style Savvy Fashion Forward also did a crossover, but this time it had clothing items based on the character Lottie and some clothing items based on the character Isabelle. There were like some furniture set pieces too or something. That sounds pretty cool though. I like to see these type of crossovers more often. So yeah, these are all really interesting. If you like these, maybe subscribe to this channel for more Animal Crossing content. I'm a newer Animal Crossing content creator, or watch this video.